The passage for our reflection this week is Mark 4, verses 35 to 41. In that passage, Jesus goes to sleep in a boat, and then a storm comes and starts drowning the boat. The disciples panic. They do all they can to save their lives. At the end, they wake Jesus up and they ask him, "Don't you care that we are perishing?" Sometimes in our lives we come across many storms, some which threaten our lives. This passage can point us to how we should relate to God when we face storms in our lives. The first thing to note is that this storm happened to the disciples because they were doing the right thing. Jesus had told them to go to the other side of the sea, and they had done that. The storm came to them because they were following Jesus. They were at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing, with the right company. Sometimes God allows us to face storms, not because we have done something wrong, not because we don't deserve His love, but precisely because we are faithful followers of Jesus. In this storm, Jesus allowed this to happen because they were following Him. Secondly, Jesus allowed the storm to happen because He wanted to test the faith of the disciples. He wanted to know how much they trusted Him. And the truth is that unless we face a serious storm, we can never really know how much we trust God. When the storm actually comes, that's when we really know. So God can allow a serious storm to happen to us so that He can expose how much we trust Him. This is not always easy for us. As Jesus followers, we hope He would protect us from storms, from serious storms. It doesn't always work that way. So the third thing that happened is the storm enabled the disciples to know who Jesus was. After the storm, they knew Him better. They asked the question, "Who is this man that even the wind and the sea obey Him?" And that question was leading them towards the right answer. He is the Savior. He is the Creator God. So storms can help us to get closer to God, to know Him better. And the other thing is, because the disciples didn't know Jesus that well, they only approached Him when they'd tried everything else. Towards the end, when they were really going to drown, then they woke Him up. Sometimes we only involve God in our difficulties when we are desperate for a solution. In the boat, the disciples were experienced fishermen. Jesus was not. He had grown up as a carpenter. So probably they thought Jesus was not the person to go to. Jesus did not have a family. He did not have a job. He did not have a house. There are many things that he was not as a human being. And so sometimes we think he is not relevant to the problems that arise in those areas. And we don't really mean to involve him. We forget Jesus is God. He has power over everything. And we should involve him in the good and the bad that happen in our lives, in every area of our lives. So when the storm comes, if we involve him in every area of our lives, we will not be too surprised. We will not panic. May God bless you.